Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Refuge from Narcissism, and this refugee video is sponsored by contribution from Missy, and there's some audio at the end of this as well. Here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I've been wanting to do this for a while now. I'm pretty sure putting my story out there will help me and maybe some others that have been sitting in silence. I've been with my partner, May, will be 11 years. In May will be 11 years. I always knew there was something wrong with her. I only found out there was a name for it a few months ago when I was poking around YouTube searching for mean, controlling people. Then bingo, I found narcissism, and all I could say is wow. Not only were my eyes open, but I felt a huge relief knowing what I was dealing with. The downside, though, I was hit with the cold truth that I've been her verbal, emotional, and mental punching bag for over a decade. Now I am so broken that I don't even know who I am anymore. There's a lot I have to say, and I hope you'll be able to follow this, as I might jump around from one thing to the next. You're welcome to use my name, Missy. Okay, here we go. My girlfriend and I got together May 9th, 2010, so I'm assuming this is a lesbian relationship. I have a daughter from a previous marriage. She was 16. My daughter and I moved into my narc's home way too fast, looking back on that now. Yeah, your daughter's also 16 years old. I don't know what your past history is with her father or other men, but at 16 you're moving her in to your new lesbian partner, and I don't know how long you've been a lesbian, as long as it's been. It's a lot for a 16-year-old to take on, Missy. And look, lesbian relationships can be some of the most vicious, violent out there. The domestic abuse rates among lesbian couples is actually higher than straight couples, man and woman. Lesbians can be brutal. My daughter and I moved into the narc's home way too fast, looking back on that now. From the beginning, my daughter and the narc didn't get along because she was always trying to take over and control her. Of course, my daughter rebelled against her. It was horrible. The first time my narc raged at me was when I allowed my daughter to go fill up her gas tank for the school the following day after she said not to let her go anywhere for back talking to her earlier. Listen to me. Listen, I'm gonna. Your lesbian girlfriend should not be trying to fucking parent your 16-year-old daughter. That is completely unacceptable. It is completely unacceptable. Nor if it was just your new boyfriend that you were moving in with. But at 16 now, that is another level that we're just going to have to deal with. That not only somebody who's not her father you want, is someone trying to have control over her life, but you're now lesbian girlfriend. We were in my car and she screamed into my ear that I didn't listen. She then punched my passenger door with her elbow. I was stunned, witnessed this for the first time. By the way, her rage showed up in the first 2 months being together. I I let it I let it I left it go. I guess I let it go through after she cooled off and apologized. However, it didn't last. Fast forward to 2012. It was June 9th. I left work and stopped for gas before going home. I pulled out of the parking lot and went half of a block. I never saw the lady come through the stop sign until she was against my driver's door. My head and shoulder hit the door and I pulled off the road. I went to the ER and was sent home with muscle relaxers. I was having problems after with pain in my neck that radiated down my back and left arm into my fingers. I went to my mom's neurosurgeon, and after a lot of tests, he found that I had a crushed disc in my neck that needed to come out. It took a year and a half to get fooled around from doctor to doctor until I finally got to where I needed to be. I had a discectomy a few weeks later. I spent the night in the hospital and went home the next day. My doctor replaced my disc with a cage plate and 4 screws. The worst part of my recovery was trying to eat and drink for the first 2 weeks. Swallowing was excruciating. My narc only cooked 1 meal when I came home. I was back to cooking and taking care of the dogs on day 3. My narc wasn't empathetic or understanding what I was going through, and now I know that they don't care about anyone but themselves. It all makes sense. All she did was act pissy and start shit with my kid. Daughter graduated in 2012 right after my car accident. Shortly after my accident, she moved out because of the stress in the house. My narc didn't feel bad that she left, nor did she care what she did to me. She drove my child away just because she didn't want her there. She didn't. You let your child leave, Missy. She didn't drive you. You put your lesbian girlfriend over the needs of the wants or the whatever the needs and desires of your own daughter, and then you want to blame her for driving your daughter away, but you stayed. That says more about you, Missy, than it does about your girlfriend. Says you put your own needs ahead of the needs of your daughter, and just because you were at surgery, you're still a mother. She drove my child away just because she didn't want her there, and you let her. And you let her do it. After I healed from my neck surgery, okay, did you go find your daughter? Did you go move out? Did you go do something to get away from her? After I healed from my neck surgery, I was still having issues with permanent nerve damage. My doctor also put me on a 10-pound weight restriction after the surgery for life. This restriction made my narc angry. I was a cosmetologist before all this happened. Now with my nerve damage, I have lost feeling in my fingers and I cannot hold my arms up due to my job and my arms up to do my job anymore. I had shoulder surgery a year later and they removed part of my shoulder bone that was impinged. I recovered from that, but it didn't help or improve anything. I haven't worked since my accident. And my narc said not to worry about it. She has a good job and could take care of it. Fast forward to 2014, after my shoulder surgery, I filed for disability after months of physical therapy with no improvement. I kept getting denied, then I appealed, then denied, and it was just a vicious cycle of frustration, which is what disability is. But eventually, if you keep suing, they give it to you retroactively. My narc still supported me, but she had to go over her checkbook every week and make comments about bills. So to make a long story short, it took me until July 2020 and hiring an attorney to get approved for SSI. Now that I am getting a very small amount of money to live off of, she's telling me that people are saying now that I am getting some money, I'm going now that I'm getting some money, I'm going to start calling the shots. From this point on, I am only going to be able to tell you about all the things she has done to me and said to me because they're so frequent. Before I do that, though, I will tell you one more huge thing that happened to me. Before I do, though, I will tell you one huge thing that happened to me that I do know the... God damn it. I'm sorry, this thing was blocking my view here. Before I do that, though, I will tell you one more huge thing that happened to me that I do know the time of. In 2018, I was on a lot of medications like muscle relaxers, nerve pain medication, depression meds, and anxiety meds. I wasn't feeling well for a while. I started feeling dizzy and I was dropping a lot of stuff for no reason. My narc knew this and never made a comment about it. It was the middle of November. It was a nice Sunday afternoon. I had just taken 2 Tylenol because my neck and head hurt. My narc wanted to take the dogs for a walk. All I wanted to do was sit down and relax. Well, we all know how they nag and get nasty until they get their way. So I got up and went, but I wasn't happy about it. We always walk our 3 chihuahuas in the cemetery across the street from our house. 3 chihuahuas, huh? So the 3 chihuahuas were cool, but your daughter wasn't. When we got about halfway around the cemetery, I got really dizzy and felt funny. I walked over and sat down on the bench, telling her I needed to sit. I don't feel good. Well, she got pissed and walked away and left with the dogs, left me there. So after I sat a while, I got up and walked home. I got reamed out for an hour because I'm lazy. Now it's Thanksgiving Eve and I'm out in the laundry room folding clothes and all I remembered was falling into the back door and hitting my face on the edge of the door. I told her I fell, but she made no comment. Thanksgiving Day, my mom asked why I had a black cheek and eye. I didn't even know because I wear glasses and my head was just not feeling right. Plus, I was still dropping stuff everywhere. I was moving forward into December. It was December 17th, and I was really feeling bad. My head was always dizzy and foggy. I don't remember anything that day, just what people told me. It seems like you I'm going to say this, Missy. Like, everything you talk about is very dramatic and over the top. And my suspicion is you're histrionic yourself. And when you're histrionic and constantly these things are happening, you're constantly injuring yourself. You're constantly falling. I understand you had surgery and a discectomy. People just start tuning you out. And you know why she's tuning you out? Because you let her get away with running your daughter off. Because she knows you're going to put your own needs ahead of your own child. And the second you did that, she knew she owned you. She don't have to listen. She don't listen to you. She don't care because she don't have to. Because you've made it clear you're not going anywhere. My head was always dizzy and foggy. I don't remember anything that day, just what people told me. I stood up off the sofa, took 2 steps and fell face first into our TV stand. I was having a grand mal seizure. The ambulance was called and I was taken to the hospital. They admitted me because I was out of it and didn't know anybody. I almost bit through the side of my tongue and couldn't walk without help. I spent 5 days in the hospital, and when I came home, I went and stayed with my mom because I wasn't supposed to be left alone. So you could have gone somewhere else other than her. You did have another place to go. So you let your daughter leave so you could stay with her when your mother's still in the picture somehow. And I'm sure there's some deep family history that drove you that got you to this point where you're at. And I'll take it at your word that these incidents are real. I will. I mean, because listen, seen enough people fake all types of this stuff. All types of falling, seizures, all of that. But I'll take you at your word that this is real. The problem you have is you had other options, and you allowed this woman to run your child off, thereby telling her, I'm going to put my own needs, my own wants, because I'd rather be with you and have my daughter leave than to find another option like with my mother and to keep my daughter. Once you made that decision, Missy, she owns you. It's over. Because you told her exactly what you were about. I came home and went and stayed with my mom because I wasn't supposed to be left alone. My narc was here and there with me at the hospital. My memory is blank. Once I was home a while, I started coming out of my fog. My narc wanted me to come home for the weekend since she would be there. I decided to go because I missed my dogs. My narc came and picked me up around lunchtime. Ollie, I had bruised ribs, and I was so bruised, the whole left side of me was black. When she picked me up, I could tell something was wrong. She started screaming at me before we even backed out of the driveway. She told me that I caused all of this myself because of all that medicine I was taking. She said, and I quote, "Don't expect any sympathy from me because you're not getting any." I was stunned at it all. She then proceeded to tell me that her mother and stepdad had to go over to their house because they wanted to talk to her. They told her that I'm lazy, that I can work and there's nothing wrong with me, that she should break up with me and find someone who can contribute to the relationship, meaning a paycheck, that I am just using her. I was just blown away. Missy, I hate to tell you this, but I have that sneaking suspicion you're using her as well. You're using her to take care of stuff for a comfortable life. You let her run your daughter out after she showed violence after 2 months. Immediately, you said, almost immediately, you're putting up with this. I was in the hospital in serious shape and they were telling her to break up with me. I asked her what she said to them. Did she defend me? Us? Nope. Nothing. Did you defend your daughter? Did you defend your daughter? Or did you let her leave? Did you? This is why the family is saying these things about you, Missy, because they can see it. They can see it. And they see all your injuries, all your hospitalizations, all of it is nothing more than hypochondria. Looking for the next victimization, I'm telling you. And the reason they're able to pin it on you is because you put your own needs and comfort ahead of your daughter. At 16. 16. That's pretty important age for a teenage girl, Missy. 16. See, you keep saying I was in the hospital, I'm in Syria, can you believe this? I'm black and blue. Like, it's always something of why you're an untouchable. But you're not an untouchable. Because you let this horrible woman, who you say is a horrible, abusive woman, you moved your 16-year-old daughter in with her. And then let her run at 16, her junior and senior year of high school, pretty important years. And you put this woman ahead of your daughter. Why? For your own needs and comfort. That's why her whole family says you're a grifter. You're lazy. You do this to yourself. Because they know she ran off your kid. Looking back now, I should have just packed up my stuff and left. You should have done that at your daughter. She always tells me stuff other people say just to hurt me. She gets off on it. To this day, she still says that I overdosed on my med and that's why I had seizures. She told her coworkers that I overdosed also. I don't even know these people. After all this and how she's treated me, I'm not even going to bother telling her that I was diagnosed with epilepsy at 50 years old. I go to a neurologist every 6 months now, and hopefully my doc and I have my epilepsy under control. So you never had epilepsy until 50? I mean, medication can bring on epilepsy. Abusing medication can bring on epilepsy. This whole experience changed me and how I look at her now. I am no longer catering to her. I really don't talk to her unless I have to. She's just using me so her life is easier. I think you're using each other. All she has to do is go to work. I clean, cook, pay the bills, run errands, etc. Well, going to work is hard. I mean, like, all she has to do is go to what? What? You do have some entitlement issues here, Missy. I'm trying hard not to turn this into another one of these videos where it's like, you're the problem. You have entitlement issues. You have clear entitlement issues here. Clear entitlement issues. And I'm not going to start yelling and screaming. I'm not, but it's all over. It's all over. This email is a giant red flag. And your interaction with me before I even did this was a red flag. Entitlement issues. All she has to do is go to work. What kind of freaking statement is that? I clean, cook, pay the bills, run errands, etc. Now she stated that taking care of everything here is my job. She treats me like an employee instead of a person. Well, Missy, you don't work. Well, what are you wondering why the family's calling you lazy? Really? Really? I want you to be honest and tell me and everyone else what you think. I think you have entitlement issues, Missy. I think you got some really bad entitlement issues. The followings are some of the things she's either done or said to me over the years. What do you contribute to the relationship? Fair question. What do you contribute? Can you not answer that? I didn't sign up for this. I don't want to deal with this. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money for both of us. You didn't ask me if your niece can come stay over. She's 12. Let's make up a chore list for you so you know what to do every day and hang it in the kitchen. All you do is sit and play on your tablet all day. I want to know what you do every day. I just want to smash that tablet. I cannot talk when she's watching TV. You sound like a spoiled brat, Missy. I'm just going to put it like, I'm sorry. You sound like a spoiled brat. And you let this woman run your daughter off. Nothing I have to say is important or interesting to her. Whenever we eat out, it's where she wants or she's miserable. I have to cook to suit her, not me. She tells me what to do, how to do it, and when. If I don't, my life is hell. She tells me how to spend my money. She shoveled me in our hallway one afternoon. She shoved me in our hallway one afternoon, then said she was helping me out the door. She tells me she tells me when I can be on my phone. She tells me I don't keep the house clean enough. She tells me that everyone thinks I'm lazy and could help her more. She kicked me under the desk at the Honda dealership when she was buying a new car because I was talking to the salesman. Why are you talking? It's her money she's buying. Why are you talking to the salesman? You're a kid. You're a child. You're a child. She didn't know that there were 3 men standing in the office across from us and saw it all because the walls were glass. She said I shouldn't be talking because she wanted to get out of there. I did an audio recording of her that was about 30 minutes long because I wanted to play it back for her so she can hear how nasty she is to me. When she denied saying stuff to me one afternoon, I started playing the recording back. She flipped, told me I was crazy, and deleted the audio. She didn't want to hear herself. She knows she's an asshole. I will get her again. If I'm on my phone and she doesn't want me to be, she'll just pick it up and set it by her. I could probably think of a million more things. Since my seizure, I now need another disc taken out of my neck. I also have a degenerative facet and disc disease in my lower back. The bottom 3 discs are all herniated and pinching all the nerves going down my legs. I just had radio frequency ablations done on the bottom 3 vertebrae in my lower back. Both sides are hoping to kill the nerves and stop the pain. It isn't a fix, it's just a band-aid. I also have an umbilical hernia that will need repaired one of these days. I told her that if I need another surgery, I'm moving with my mom permanently. And there it is. So if you could have moved with your mom permanently, why didn't you do it when she ran your fucking daughter off? Why? Because you're in it for yourself. Because you put your own needs and vagina, and you know what? I do think, even with your surgeries, I think there is a large scale of laziness on your part. Laziness and entitlement. Histrionics. She might be the problem. She might be part of the problem. She might be another narcissist. If she listen, if as a woman, okay, she said, hey, let's start dating and move your 16-year-old daughter in with me, okay? Neither one of you are good, are thinking right. Neither one of you. The bottom 3 discs are all herniated and pinching all the nerves going down my legs. I just had radio frequency ablations done on the bottom 3 vertebrae. I'm sorry. I told her, that's right. I told her that if I need another surgery, I'm moving back with my mother permanently. So you could have been doing that the entire time. I told her I cannot go through any more health issues with her. I told her that I'm not going to be treated like shit because I'm going through stuff. I know deep down that I have to leave because I now know that she doesn't and never will care about my happiness and well-being. I also know she is incapable of change. I told her that I am taking my daughter, grandson, and niece to Sanibel Island this summer for 2 weeks. I've been wanting to go for years. It's a bucket list item for me. Are you taking her there on her money that she only has to go to work for? Is that like, where you cut off making demands with her? If you're paying for it with your money, that's fine. But if you're thinking you're paying for, like wow. Like the fact that you said like this niece has been brought up, that you just had her come stay in her home even though she's 12, that matters. So because she's 12, she should have to have another person come to her house? And now you're saying like you're taking your daughter, your grandson, and niece to Sanibel Island. What, on her dime? It's a bucket list item for me. So again, does that now, because now it's a bucket list item for you, is that like saying when you're injured, I'm all bruised and look out, so what? Right away she started flipping out because she didn't want the kids along. I told her I didn't want her along because she ruins every trip we took and I want to enjoy my time there. Now that she knows she isn't invited, she's trying to control it all. She doesn't want me to go for 2 weeks because she doesn't want to have to do everything at home. She says it's because of money and I'll be wasting it. Yeah, why is she's going to pay for you, your daughter, your grandson, for 2 weeks? A 2-week vacation? It's... Wow. She says it's cause of money. It probably is. I'll be wasting it. I said, no, I'll be making memories with my kids on her dime. On her dime. That she only has to go to work and make the money. Wow. What the hell, man? She still thinks I'm only going for 1 week because that's what she wants. She's going to have a meltdown when she finds out I'm going for 2 weeks, regardless of what she says. I'm saving my money. I'm paying for it. I'll do what I want now. As long as you're paying for it, have at it. Okay? But if you're doing it on her dime, no. I'll do what I want now. I'm done living under her rule of thumb. I hope this is helpful. If I manage to get her on audio, I'll send that too. Well, she already sent me the audio of it, so.
Because it's annoying.
It's 2 minutes, 35 seconds.
So, I'm not the only one that feels that way. Other people would tell you the same thing. I walk downstairs, you're on your tablet, you're playing games, I don't know what you're doing, but you're on your tablet. Every time I look at you, you're sitting in your chair on your tablet.
Yeah, because till you get up, it's the end of the day, and I'm ready to sit.
I'm sure you're on it more than...
So what?
Well, then don't make it like it's just when,
but what
when
if
I
I
get
am?
up.
So what if I am? What is it hurting you? As long as the shit gets done around here, what's it hurting you?
It's hurting you, not
no, it
me.
Ain't. It ain't hurting me.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't. It's bothering you.
It only bothers me when you try to stuff it up my ass.
I ain't stuffing nothing up your ass, Ren. You got enough shit up your ass. There ain't no room.
So you get smart. Maybe if a psychologist told you that.
Yeah, let's
So you guys are doing bong rips. I mean, which is fine.
go to one.
They'd tell you, miss.
Okay.
And then I'd be like, ha 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 ha.
Uh-huh. Let's go.
They would, miss. I'm sorry to tell you. You might be an adult, but they're going to tell you you're addicted to it. You're addicted to being online. You going down with Mom? I'm not trying to start a fight.
No, you never are.
I'm really not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
As long as I do what you want.
No,
There
miss,
won't be a fight.
I told you I don't care if you're on it. That's you. But don't try to make it me.
You don't make any sense.
I'm just telling you.
Go with your
you
mom.
know, you might not think so, but you have a problem with technology. And you won't take it from me, but you'll take it from maybe someone else that's neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
But am I hurting you? Am I hurting anybody?
It's not about that.
Being on the
miss.
internet or just being on my tablet, playing games or doing
Yeah, playing
relaxing
games.
shit like
Come on.
coloring apps and shit like that to calm me down.
You make all the excuses in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You're addicted to.
Yep, okay, that's your opinion. It is with me. It's with me. Oh, Jesus Christ. See what I fucking mean?
Well, you guys are sitting there doing bong rips. I mean, Missy, I'm going to be very... Look, you come off as very entitled and very spoiled. And you do come off as somebody, when she says you're addicted and you're on the tablet, it's like you're like a teenager. I'm sorry, you have the mentality of a teenager. You really do. And you're just looking for this reason or that reason or this reason why you shouldn't be called out on your nonsense, why she only works. She only has to go to work. And the reason why everybody says this stuff to you, the reason why she's able to do all of this to you, okay, is because you allowed her to run your daughter off. You allowed her to run your daughter off early on. Right here, I witnessing this for the first time. By the way, her rage showed up in the first 2 months being together. Her rage showed up in the first 2 months being together, and down here it's, I am moving with my mom permanently. So if that's what you could have done the entire time, why didn't you? Your entitlement. Your entitlement is why you didn't leave. And your entitlement allowed you to choose yourself, your comfort, your whatever, over your own daughter. She only has to go to work. I hope that helps, for real. And I didn't want this to be another one of these videos, but it's another one of these videos. So, thank you for your contribution and story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like me to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or you'd just like to make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you guys. Without you, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Refuge from Narcissism. Take care.